G'day and welcome back to Nat's Knacker's Yard, and it's kind of tinkering while I'm waiting for bits to arrive for RatBoy, the Fazer 600. Should be in the next day or two, but I'm back at work, or I'm working from home, just kind of on a lunchtime think. I'm kind of at split minds now. Where's the number plate gone? There we go. I'll show you why. I love the flat back arse, but I think the number plate being flat on it doesn't do a lot for it. So it's an element of how I get a bit of an angle on the plate, because they're not flat. They're never flat on the back of a bike, apart from maybe on a scooter. So it's to get a little bit of an angle out on that. Now, bit that concerns me, and I've been looking at a few pictures and things. I mean, it's supposed to be brutalised here. That's kind of the point of this. I don't like the lip at the top. Whoop, there we go. Now, I think if I was to take the foam back and just run that as a straight across, it would make a hell of a lot of difference. It would also lose a lot of the height at the back there, which is what it just looks to cut, which don't think is quite what I'm after. So I'm going to take the seat off, peel. I mean, this is only tagged on just for effect and look more than anything else, and just try and shave away some of that foam to get rid of that bulk, because it doesn't need it. It just needs to be flat across the back. It's trying to retain too much of its former shape, and I think that's the issue, and why it looks a little bit odd. I just want it flattened to give it more of a flat back. Yeah, I think it also runs down a bit too far as well, but I think that's you know, what do I say? Play withable. Not a word, but should be. Let's get the seat off and have a quick look. Right, a little bit of a peel back there, and that is all just foam. I've got a tiny lip there, so I think I can get it to follow that line quite easily. I would use my pen, but it's been stolen. Just do a line across, just to get rid of that bulge. I think that's what's upsetting me. Yeah, let's give it a go. Okay, a little bit of a before and after there. So I've got a bit of a ridge, and needs a bit of sorting out, but that is looking so much better. I think gives me less to I've got that another section of plastic cum metal that I'm going to bolt onto that, but that's fine. That was planned from the off. I think that looks a lot better. Doesn't look quite so just hacked as it was before. I'm really annoyed I cut that corner out of there. I could have done that a lot better, but hey, I don't think I can add anything into that divot near. Failing that, I'll just dig through the bin, see if I can find the bit I cut off. I can do something. Yeah, I like that. That's better. Now the question is whether or not I need to wrap it quite so far down. That's a good which I'm trying to give it the bird. So I could take it up to there, which will take me to the middle of the frame, which might make it look a little bit less hokey. I'm going to have to find a better way of securing it, because it's lost the... Oh, I wonder if I could put a clip on the back. I don't know, let's have a think. That looks better. That looks better without that big bump at the back. Just have a look. Comfort wise, because the Fazer does have a very comfortable seat, particularly now for it, so it's a bit daft to cut it off and put something uncomfortable on it. That's fine. That's bangers. Actually, stops forcing you to the front of the seat. That is a lot. That's actually better. Plus I am quite lanky. So I do need a bit more. I do tend to hoik my arse back on seats. That's fine. That is absolutely brilliant. Right. So it needs tidying up, it needs a new cover, it needs sorting. I need to get rid of that slight ridge that's there, but I can do that, no problems. Yeah. And actually, being wrapped properly and tight will probably cure a lot of that. I'm going to have a think about just raising that a bit, because it's a bit, it doesn't need to wrap round. You know, all it does is take it to that beam. So actually where the tide line of the old, where the cover was set before, might suit me. And it just takes some of the bulk of that down a little bit. And I think that looks better immediately. Yeah, must remember to take that knife in. That's a kitchen knife, I will get told off. I've got a couple of flush round indicators coming. They're coming from China, so they're going to take forever, but just nice and cheap, just bang them on right next to the bolts there. Happy. And one is essentially going to be, and spin your bugger, there we go. So essentially like that. I've got a light and a integrated light and plate holder coming, so I think if I've got it at that sort of angle, I don't know what size it is actually, I think it's gonna be kind of there. It just means I need a filler sheet, and I need to sort this a bit better. Right, happy. Next odds and sods, I'm going to break out my power jet. Not going to do it now, I need to get back to work. I'm going to break out my sander and just have at this on the frame itself. Now the only bit on this is because it is a snug fit. Excuse bad camera work when I lift this off. Because it is a snug fit on those edges there. I've just had to drill a hole, a concealed hole, which is worth considering when I'm, or as when and if I cut that seat back, but just to grip it on at the front, because see it's gripped at the back here. With the pressure there, it's just making the legs splay out. So that holds it nice and secure and safe and in one place, and that's just not going anywhere at all. That's probably more firm than the original one was. And I think that's better. So it's getting away from that slice, you know, look like a laser beam sliced the arse off, and just making it look a little bit more custom. Now, it's got a wide ass. I can't use another seat. I can, but it's going to look crap. So if I stick with the one that I've got, can't be with the one you love, love the one you're with, and all of that. And I just need to make something to fashion onto the top of this to cover up that edge, cover up against the seat. I might need to tidy up that edge. Remember, it's just hacked at the moment so far, and I think we're getting there. I'll leave that till last, I think, on the back end, because I don't know whether or not it's going to make a great deal of difference one way or another. But yeah, getting there. Cool, catch you in a bit. Okay, so a fair bit of sanding around the edges there, and there's now some filler filling off. I must have used too much hardener, because it had pretty much gone by the time I tried to do the other side. But actually, I'm in no rush. Let's just do one side, see how it works out, and then I'll move to the other. A little bit of a bodge pipe up here. I've noticed that, and you can tell it's an evening graft because I've finished work and I've got a bit. I'm not doing anything mechanical. I'm not using power tools. I'm not using fuel. 2 seconds. Interrupted by the choice of takeout this evening because it's just too nice to cook. Right, yeah, in the back of the seat there's a hook, which is really quite handy. So I've kind of bodged a strip there. I have no idea what that metal was for. I've got a few of them. I've kept them for some reason. Yeah, kind of works. I need to do it better because I've just literally hacked a bit out and bent it round. But that's the sort of thing that I need to do. I just need to work out how, where, etc, etc. And I've just kind of bent it round at the moment just to see if I can get something. Now the ideal way of securing this is a new way. It's not new, it's just the first I've heard of it, and it came from Mike as a suggestion on a better way of doing this, in terms of riv nuts. So join me in about a week when mine gets delivered, because I've just ordered them because they sound fascinating. Essentially, I've never heard of them before, but I've got a rivet gun, I've got rivets, etc, etc, but it is a basically a pot rivet that has a screw thread in it. I'm not a big fan of drilling into swing arms, but by the sound of it, these things don't weaken it anyway, so I'm not just making holes and sticking a bolt in, which I'm anti. And he's done it before on various bikes, so I'm going to give it a go. So it would be a neater way of doing this, which was only a bit of a bodge anyway. So, and plus there are issues with when you adjust it. This is going to move, etc, etc. But you know, that wasn't the plan, or that wasn't the point of doing it. It was just to try and do it. And I was going to make an adjustment up the top, whatever. Actually, with these riv nuts, I can do it in there and just put a bracket on the swing arm, and do one up the front, and do a considerably neater job than a plastic cuff. It's also a good option on how to do this as well. So it'll be a small hole, riv nut in the top, and then just screwing whatever I put across there. It's probably not going to be one of these. I mean, they're crap and flimsy and everything else. It was just to you know, prove a point to myself more than anything else. But yeah, it'd be a good way of doing something similar to give me a bar to hook the back of the seat on, just to hold it a bit more secure. What I am looking at next, I'm not sure whether it's going to be on this video or not, is the side panels. Now I've had a look online. I can get them for about, depending, about 80-90 quid. Nah, not going to happen. I've checked them out online, and it's probably easier to show on this side actually. So there's pseudo triangular jump. A screw at the top that goes through into that housing there, and two clips. One, two. Now on this side, that screw has got an earth cable into it, which is a bit strange, but hey, plenty of places elsewhere to put it. Perfect one just there, so I don't have drama moving that. But I'm going to try making them, and I'm going to try it in cardboard. Not permanently. Could be interesting. But so I'm going to fabricate up a couple of ones in a minute. It might be in this video, it might not, depends how I get on, depends how long the takeout's going to be. But essentially to try what I think, that sticks out a little bit, which is a bit of a shame, and I might have to move it because I can't get a straight plane off. If I go straight, look at it from the top, it's probably easier. If I go straight that way, then I'm going to end up a gulf here. So if I get a straight piece with a bend that goes over the top, ideally conforming to that, or nearly conforming to that, then I should be good. So I'm going to grab a bit of scrap, grab a pair of scissors if I remember where I put them, and just have the first attempt, which will just be hacking at a piece of paper, a piece of cardboard, to try and see if I can get it somewhere near. Right, okay, so there's first attempt, just really going blind, just hacking away with a pair of scissors and a sharp knife. Now I'm not far off actually. I think I need a better angle at the bottom, so I need to adjust that angle slightly. My pen's gone for a Burton's. Right, I have to remember that. So adjust the angle, cut that angle in a little bit. I like the crease. It's easy to do with card, obviously, easier than it is with metal. I like the crease. It's starting at the wrong angle here, and I need to, I think, come to, let's give you an angle there, try and come to a bit of a blunted point to follow that frame. So the frame itself, not far off. Let's just have another hack and see how take two goes. Right, Nat pisses around with cardboard. I don't think I'm far off. Now obviously cardboard's going to bend and wave and everything else. I've tried doing that two section bend, so the bend across the top and then over, and it just doesn't work because it pulls the whole unit too far out. It looks fine, looks great till you put the seat on it and the seat snares it. Now unusually this is pretty symmetrical, so that cutout works on both. It's going to be really tricky to do with one end, so I'll give you some dodgy, there we go, some dodgy camera work while I do it. That works. A little bit of a snare around the master cylinder, but I can move that. That's not really too much of a drama, so I'm not too far off on that side. On the other side, now there's a hanger here for the I think that's the switch relay, one of those anyway. There's a hanger there that they slot on and fall out, but it pushes the whole unit really quite far out. Now actually I can just fold them away and chuck them away and tuck them away, that's fine. So I can get rid of that to get, well, I don't need to get rid of it, sorry, I just don't need to use it, because obviously that sticks out so far. That on top brings it out an extra ½ inch or so. Now obviously I'm going to need to cut a hole for the lock, but it works. Roughly it works. It works enough for me to be confident enough that there is a good start. So I think takeout's not here yet. We all had a big vote. I think while the takeout's not here, I might be brave and give it a cut and see what happens. Now I do have a couple of sheets of checkerboard over here, which I'm not a massive fan of, to be fair, but it was a cheap and fairly sturdy way of doing it. Now I think what I'm going to do is I might go for it backwards. I might just go for it that way and see what happens. So I'm going to mark one out, give it a cut, see how it looks. Let's give it a go. What can possibly go wrong? Right, there we go. One set of cutting later. I don't know what it is. Every time I get my angle grinder, my cutter out, it feels like the opening scene to Casualty to me. Remember when it's always someone doing something fairly innocuous and it always goes horribly wrong. But yeah, so on a flat piece, it's not too far out, but I've got a big gap there. So what I want to try and do is really pick a line and just go for a big bend. Now the best line is probably where it bends the most, so if I grab a bit of tape, just do that and then go for a rough bend from the apex up to that bend there, and I'll see if it can get it to lie a bit flatter. There we go, bit of a bend in it. So by bit of a bend, that is actually using my ruler, which is a saw blade, scoring on the other side, nice straight line, bit of weight but not too much, you're not trying to cut through it, and then literally, in fact let me just whip that off. So nice straight line, bit of scoring. It's really hard to bend on the bottom corner, but actually that's not where I need it, it's the top corner. So a bit of scoring and then a nice sharp edge, which was the edge of a building, not that bit there because the trees are in the way, and just the body weight of a NAT rather than GNAT, and guess at about the angle, and that's not a million miles off. Yeah, my tape was just a marker for a line. I don't think that's too bad. It's not too bad at all. Right, the other side's going to be trickier because I've got to make a awl for the obvious. So I think what I'm going to do is I've kept my cardboard template, of course, because I keep dropping things. No, I keep everything. Keep my template. The more I look at this to get that angle on, I'm probably going to have to just bastardize those off, but you know, that's fine. I'm going to have to find a way of marking the back of that, so I think take the key out. I think I'm just going to cover that in. No, actually I could probably just push it on, can't I? That'll give me the marker for it. Push around it like you used to. Fucking would be over a seam, wouldn't it? Like you used to when you were taking like brass rubbings or whatever you did as a kid. Mark out where the hole is, get one cut and get it going. Cool. Right, I lied that I was going to do the other one now. I'm going to piss around with the cardboard and get it all set up, but KFC man is inbound, and there's no way I'm missing that. So that'll do me for now. A little short update. What's next? Next is getting them on, I suppose, and working out how I'm going to secure them. I think probably by the bolt at the end, and then probably, frankly, well, at worst zip tie, at best something else. I don't know. I know you can get, but I don't know what they're called, like plastic. I don't know. Give us some suggestions, fellas. I'm alright to hook it up at the back here, that's fine. It's down here that I've got issues with. How do I connect it on bar? You know, the obvious way is just make a hole and zip tie it on, which is the default, and I'll probably end up doing that as a last resort, but there's got to be better ways of doing it. But I don't know. I don't have the answers. Drop some suggestions at the bottom, if you could be good enough. Thanks so much for watching all. Catch you later. Thanks for watching. For those that have subscribed, thank you very much. For those that haven't, why the hell not? This is amazing to watch, and I'm such a nice bloke. Cheers all. I'll catch you later. Ta-da.